Hey there, amazing listeners. Before we dive into today's episode about the definitive food plan guide, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, give us a thumbs up, and share this podcast with anyone who's on their health journey. Your support means the world to us and helps us reach more people who need this information. Now, let's talk about those three buddies that show up in every single meal we eat: fats, proteins, and carbs. These guys have a huge impact on our bodies, you know? But here's the thing, it's way more important than just thinking about calories. We need to understand how much of each of these we actually need, and when's the best time to eat them, or even avoid them completely. But how do we figure this out? How do we find that sweet spot, that perfect balance of calories between fats, proteins, and carbs to reach our health and fitness goals? Whether you're trying to lose weight, burn fat, build muscle, or just maintain your current shape. Well, here's the deal. Most diets out there focus only on total calories as the main factor for weight loss or gain. Usually, people follow some kind of standard formula to divide up their fats, proteins, and carbs. But listen up. This approach is pretty outdated, okay? Because each person is unique, with different needs. The standard breakdown usually goes something like this: 10 to 15% proteins, 60% carbohydrates, and many of those coming from grains and cereals, and less than 30% fats. But this doesn't change much, even if you want to lose weight or have other goals. The USDA, which is a US health agency, typically uses an average of 2,000 to 2,500 calories per day as a reference. But folks, it's not that simple. Calories have context, you know. Our body uses these three macronutrients in various ways, whether to give us energy now or to store it for the future. Plus, it decides whether to store fat or glycogen, or whether to build or break down muscles, all depending on what we eat, how much we eat, when we eat, and even what we're doing or thinking during mealtime. So you don't need to go crazy about it. Having a little slip up in your diet once in a while won't be the end of the world, as long as we maintain control and understand how our nutrients work in the long term. The important thing is to maintain balance and keep moving forward. So, ready to take care of your nutrition more consciously? Just understand the signals our body gives us and move forward with a healthier lifestyle. The definitive guide to healthy eating. This brings me to the core of today's discussion. Not only is it almost impossible to accurately measure your exact calorie and macronutrient needs meal by meal, but doing so will drive you crazy. Actually, accurately figuring out your true structural and functional fuel needs, and therefore achieving your goals, is much more complex than that. Proteins. Your body's priority protein is priority number one. If there's a good reserve of glycogen, that's stored glucose, and your body is efficiently getting the rest of its energy from fats, proteins will always go first to repair or build cells and enzymes. In this context, it doesn't seem fair to give it a burn rate of 4 calories per gram. At minimum, you need 1 gram of protein per kilogram of lean body mass per day, on average, to maintain your structure. If you're moderately active, you probably need 1.5 or 1.7 grams. And if you're an active athlete, you probably need 2 grams of protein per kilogram of lean body mass. That's minimum, but it's a daily average. So let's break this down with an example. A moderately active 70-kilogram woman who has 25% body fat, therefore close to 55 kilograms of lean mass, needs 93.5 grams of protein on average per day. That's 55 times 1.7. If she eats 60 or 80 grams some days, and around 110 grams other days, she'll still be in a healthy average range. And even if she exceeds 110, it won't be a problem if she's eating low carb, because excess protein will be converted to glucose, which will reduce her effective carbohydrate needs. At 4 calories per gram, this protein intake translates to about 320 to 440 calories per day from protein. That's not much at all. Carbohydrates. The insulin connection. If you've forgotten everything you learned in biology, just remember this and master this concept. Carbohydrates increase insulin, and insulin leads to fat gain. This was proven by researchers like Cahill in 1965 and Taubes in 2007. The idea in the paleo lifestyle is to limit carbs to only what you need to provide glucose for the brain, and for some reasonable amount, certainly less than an hour, of occasional. And that's a wrap on today's episode, everyone. I hope this deep dive into the world of macronutrients has given you some real clarity on how to fuel your body the right way. Remember, this isn't about perfection. It's about understanding how your body works and making choices that support your goals and your health. The journey to better health doesn't have to be complicated or overwhelming. Start small, listen to your body, and remember that sustainable change happens one meal at a time. Now, if this episode brought you value, I've got a huge favor to ask of you. First, hit that subscribe button right now. Seriously, do it. It helps more people discover this podcast and get the health information they need. Second, smash that like button if you found this helpful. It only takes a second, but it makes a huge difference in helping us reach more listeners. Third, drop a comment below and let me know. What was your biggest takeaway from today's episode? Are you team protein, team fat, or are you still figuring out what works best for your body? I read every single comment and love hearing from you. And finally, please share this episode with someone who needs to hear this message. Maybe it's a friend who's struggling with their diet, a family member who's confused about all the conflicting nutrition advice out there, or a workout buddy who's trying to optimize their performance. Sharing is caring, and you never know whose life you might change with this information. I'm constantly working on bringing you the most practical, science-based health and nutrition content, so make sure you're subscribed with notifications turned on so you never miss an episode. Coming up next week, we're going to dive into the world of intermittent fasting and how to make it work for your lifestyle. Not some cookie-cutter approach. Trust me, you won't want to miss that one. Until then, keep eating real food, keep moving your body, and keep investing in the most important person in your life, you. This has been your host, and I'll catch you in the next episode. Stay healthy, stay strong, and remember, you've got this. Peace out.